happening, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. Tyson Fury names Oleksandr Usyk the only other current fighter who can beat Deontay Wilder. He insists that Anthony Joshua and Dillian White would get knocked out in round one. Wow. Tyson Fury is adamant that Anthony Joshua and Dillian White would both get knocked out inside the first round if they fought Deontay Wilder next. As sadly predictable in boxing, the single defeat has led to many of people doubting Wilder. Deontay Wilder, bearing none even today, he would wipe the floor with every other single heavyweight out there apart from. Also, I believe that Oleksandr Usyk would give him problems. They're the only two people in the heavyweight division. They're the only two people in the heavyweight division alive today that could give Deontay Wilder trouble. That's myself and Oleksandr Usyk. I am an absolute beast, a warrior, a legend, a lineal champion, and Usyk because he's a master southpaw and slick boxer. He's had a lot of experience and he knows how to deal with power punches. Wow. Those are the words of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. He rates him and Oleksandr Usyk as one of the most skilled heavyweights as it comes. Now, where do I counterpunch? Start from the beginning. First off, I have to 50% agree with Tyson Fury and 50% disagree with Tyson Fury. I do think they're one of the most skilled fighters. Okay, the styles that they possess, and the styles are the important issue here. Okay, I'll get to that later. But Tyson is a very good boxer. Okay, he's a very good boxer. He's a very slick boxer. That's pretty much all he knew of growing up. You know, fighting man, right? That is a term that is held proud with the gypsies. Okay, they do that for sport, like some people play soccer or whatever, or like kids in the barrio or the hood, they used to slap box, you know, but they box, bare knuckle fighting. That's what they're used to doing. Okay, and even Tyson Fury doesn't even rate himself as one of the best bare knuckle fighters. He rates one of his cousins. But saying all that to say this, he's grown up to fight. So that's what he knows, how to fight, slip, duck, parry, right? Bob and weave punches. Now, he should know a thing or two about a thing or two. With Oleksandr Usyk, Usyk is a slick guy that's pretty much beat everybody in front of him. He's achieved everything that he set out so far, okay? And I think that Tyson Fury is now vouching for Oleksandr Usyk because he's been in there with someone like Chisora. This has everything to do with what happened last weekend, okay? Oleksandr Usyk, yeah, he took some shots, but he proved that he was slick and he proved that he could stay in there with a power puncher. And Derek Chisora is indeed a power puncher. Is he the hardest? No, he's not. But he is a power puncher. He's a solid, rugged power puncher. He likes to work the body and he gives you the business, okay? And that's what he attempted to do with Oleksandr Usyk, and Oleksandr Usyk showed his slickness in there, which he proved to be a worthy heavyweight. Now, would Anthony Joshua and Dillian White get knocked out by Deontay Wilder in the first round or the second round, he says, right? That remains to be seen because, as we know, this is the heavyweight division. Not saying that Deontay Wilder can't do that. I'm not saying that. And I've already done a video about people may try Wilder now because they think he's vulnerable. Okay, and I think that would be their downfall, thinking that that guy can't punch you in your face or upside your head with one of those solid shots and knock you out. I'm not saying that because that's what could happen. You know, he could very well go in there and people go in there and think I can do exactly what Tyson Fury did, but not understanding that Deontay Wilder is a rangy fighter and he fights tall. You try that shit like going in there and working the body or whatever where he's in position to throw that right, he's going to catch you. And if he catches you and catches you clean, he could knock you out. Okay, so not saying that he couldn't knock out Joshua or knock out Dillian White, but what I'm saying is those guys have the opportunity to do that too. Because as we learned about the heavyweight division, it's the most popular division for a reason, because it's the most dangerous, because one shot can knock you out. Ask Dillian White. His last fight, he was knocked out with one shot. Okay, and that showed everyone division is no joke. Okay, and is Povetkin regarded as the hardest puncher? No, you don't have to be the hardest puncher. Okay, even if Deontay Wilder is regarded as the hardest puncher, was Eddie Shavers was the hardest puncher back in the 70s, one of the regarded as the hardest heavyweights. But that that doesn't mean that he's going to go in there and knock everyone out in his path. That means a possibility. Okay, so the possibilities of Deontay Wilder knocking out those guys, I think, is just as uh, I think it's just as much so as those guys knocking him out. Okay, so it's not a guarantee. And I think Tyson Fury, what he's doing for the most part, he's once again building a wedge between himself and the other fighters. But the significant thing is he is accepting Oleksandr Usyk in the heavyweight division. That's all he's doing by saying that, hey, he's the only one that could beat a Deontay Wilder besides myself, because I've already done it. And the other guys can't do it, right? So it is surprising to know. And why is it surprising to know? Because as you can recall, back in the day, he used to say I could beat Oleksandr Usyk with one hand tied behind my back. Now things are looking more on the real and up and up. It's because it's getting more realistic that Oleksandr Usyk is one of those guys that could be one of his possible opponents. That's why he's doing that. So he's just dropping that seed in the ground for it to grow. And that seed is Oleksandr Usyk, because he knows Usyk is a danger or a threat in the heavyweight division. Okay, so I don't think this is really about Anthony Joshua or really about Dillian White. I think what he's doing is he's just observing that Oleksandr Usyk is a superior fighter, and he's in his weight class, and he may be his opponent one day. That's my counterpunch on this. You guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury's comments. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been counterpunching. Peace.